Hi everybody. My name is Annabelle, and I'm the founder of MelaninGamers, or creatively as everyone knows me as. I'm with
Alan, who is also the principal researcher of MelaninGamers. But
yeah, MelaninGamers is a gaming community that promotes inclusion and diversity in the video games industry, with a special focus on content creators, whilst also providing a safe space for people of colour to come together and game. Today, it's my genuine pleasure to introduce MG's first ever international summit of POC gaming communities spanning 4 continents, right here in Europe to Africa, all the way to North and South America. Each community leader will speak and tell you their origin story as to why they founded their amazing community. Can I get a quick hey from all our communities?
Cool.
Hello.
what can I say? Well, Mr. Worldwide now.
Okay, so we will be hearing from our first community, and that will be, so without further ado, I present to you mayamada. I know all about mayamada. They are based in my hometown, London. We'll be hearing from their co-founder, Nigel. Nigel?
Hello. Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Nice to have you.
If, Nigel, you can tell us who you are and where you're based in the world.
So you gave up that second part. So my name is Nigel. And spoiler alert, I'm based in London. One specific.
What do you do as well?
So I'm the creator, co-founder of a manga brand called mayamada. And we essentially make manga. So we make manga books. We create our own universe of characters. And alongside that, I also work with young people in creative comic story workshops. And the reason why I'm here is we've also created a video game event and community called Gamepad. So I bounce around from all 3 of those things.
So you're doing a lot. So mayamada sounds like an amazing thing and like a giant conglomerate. But why was Gamepad?
It sounds like that. You'll be very surprised to know what's going on outside this shop. But anyway.
Back of house, yeah, we know it can be.
Yeah.
But front of house, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Cool.
Why did you guys found? I guess you guys founded 2 different things because Gamepad is a branch of mayamada. So why was mayamada/Gamepad founded? What was the reason behind it?
Yeah, so Gamepad came like a few years after sort of we established the brand and the business. And at the time we were sort of making comics and we had these characters, and myself and my then co-founder Lau. So we're both engineers, so we had very little experience in anything that we're doing now. And we thought like if you make something like a comic and it make it look good, people would flock to you and you would become the next Marvel. That's how that would work. That did not happen. So what we wanted to do is sort of around the same time we've been doing different kind of events. So we wanted to bring that together and build a community around the brand so that people get to know us. But a lot of people that liked us, like we go to different spaces and a common theme would be an interest in video games. So we thought, yeah, let's use that. Let's create this event where people can come and play different video games, and in the process they get to learn about the mayamada brand. But we also had a focus on bringing different people together, so not just the stereotype of who people might think plays games, but trying to break that by bringing sort of like guys and girls of families, people from different ethnic backgrounds, orientations, and things like that. So that's kind of how it started.
That's amazing. That's really
cool.
Wonderful. And I love the idea of family-friendly sort of gaming and social gaming as well, which is very important to us because obviously a lot of gaming, I mean now obviously everyone has to stay inside, but social gaming actually, everyone has to kind of stay inside now, but it's nice to game with people. Because I mean, going on the days of LAN parties and stuff like that. But nowadays,
in the arcade, I would kill it. I score
I know
unbeaten.
we did that as well. Yeah, there's a few LAN parties. Yeah.
So it's nice sort of bringing that sort of social aspect of gaming back. What do you hope to achieve with Gamepad?
So aside from world domination, the other things on the list are it's kind of like twofold. So, like I said, because we do like the manga and we have this brand and characters, I always like to use the analogy of Disney. Like Disney are a brand with characters, and Disneyland is the physical place where you go and experience the brand.
Yeah.
And that's what I've got in my mind in terms of like mayamada being this brand with characters and stories.
Becoming
and
Disney.
Then Gamepad. I did say world domination. I'm very far off that. Just to put it in perspective for people watching, nowhere near that, but you have to dream, right? So yeah, we want like Gamepad to be the physical place where people come and experience the brand. But like as we've been doing this for a number of years now, and as we've seen the impact that the event has had, it's brought a lot of focus into sort of that diversity and inclusion, specifically with sort of young people and families. So like for me, because I work with young people and I sort of get to sort of chat and discuss with young people who are into gaming as well as comics, and they consume, but they don't always know you can actually produce and you can be on that side of it. And because a lot of my work is in communities where it's young people from like underrepresented sort of demographics, a lot of the times just like the simple awareness of I can even be in this industry and just be a part of it is something that I'm trying to sort of work on breaking a little bit. So just getting them to realize actually I can be a part of this, because the diversity statistics in the games industry is not great. So so it's just trying to, and that's where it starts really. It's like if you don't know you can even be in this industry, you'll never work on changing that. So just trying to bring some of that to
That leads on to my next question, actually, is how do you believe your community tackles the problem you set out to achieve?
So it's, and this is something that's kind of like evolved and is evolving now because of the pandemic. We've had to change things around and bring a lot more of a online component to the event. But in general, it's about sort of giving insight and demystifying the industry for young people. So for example, like a lot of times, so before I started, like I said, I was an engineer and I used to be a software engineer, and there's a whole bunch of stereotypes on that. Most of them are true, by the way. But so there's this idea that being in gaming, like a game developer, equals coding. So a lot of young people and just people in general think like, if I can't code, therefore I can't be in this. But it's about saying, you know, if you're into art, if you're into music, you can contribute. Like gaming doesn't just mean you have to sit down and code. So just trying to have those conversations with people in the industry. So I've been doing a lot of that, either like if it's through our podcast or like through some video interviews that we're also planning. So that's one side of it. And the other is like just literally giving young people work experience opportunities through our Gamepad event. So we've had a number of young people sort of come be part of the event and gain that experience and just like gaming, but also just working in a real environment and just seeing the I guess the serious side to, you know, this gaming event. It is an event, it is a job, you are doing work. And then I like to sort of give them an opportunity, but also feedback. Whether they also always appreciate that feedback is a different question, but I think it's important to give that to them as they, you know, make their steps into the working world.
Thank you.
Nice.
So obviously, because this is an international summit, what do you think a key challenge that your community personally faces because of where you're based?
Or specifically because of where I'm based? It's a good question. I don't know about, I think since before the pandemic, I would have said just like reach, because when we started, it was very much a physical event, and the whole idea was about getting people out of their houses into a physical space. So the last few months, I've had to change that thinking around. But I think just general reach of being like a very small company and brand, despite the social media appearance. I think. And then, like, alongside that, one of the things I feel just like a general challenge of what we're trying to do is we're kind of like almost in the middle of two different sort of groups. So because we're in like an all ages and we focus on different types of games. So like, for example, there's no Call of Duty. And when I go to like a school or something and I say to kids, like, there's no Call of Duty, there's no FIFA, there's no Fortnite, sorry. But so there's then the risk of saying, oh, it's not a proper gaming event. And then on the other side, when you're dealing, I've had this. And on the other side, when you're dealing with, like, say, families who have parents who might have a particular perception of what gaming is, and it's not a serious thing. So it's like, why would I bring my kid to this gaming event? And it's trying to kind of get people to realize on one side that gaming is not just the games that you play, and it's not just the mainstream games that you play, it's more than that. And then on the other side, getting them to understand that there is actually a legitimate industry behind, you know, your child sitting and playing on the PlayStation or whatever it might be. So yeah, trying to bridge that gap as a kind of ongoing challenge as well.
I can really appreciate that, especially with trying to make gaming appealing to parents as a career, you know?
Yeah, which is mad because gaming is like a 130 whatever plus $1 billion industry, and
brought in more than
so,
movies and music combined.
Trying to explain that, especially with people of color, your parents is just literally doctor,
engineer.
Yeah,
that's it.
And those are the kind of careers. Those are the only careers actually. Or you're just a failure.
No, you haven't.
It's a very short list.
Yeah.
But it's really good that you're doing that and that your community is sort of spreading that message, especially to young people who won't always listen, won't always understand that this is the one way that they see gaming, and sort of opening their eyes and their parents' eyes. Because some people, they might want to dream like, oh, I want to be this person, and your parent at home is like, no.
Lawyer.
You can have all the ambition in the world. If you go home and your parents are like, what? Shut up. Like,
exactly.
it's done. Like, it's done. And I've literally had that kind of conversation with kids who like, I want to do this, but my parents, I'm going to wait. And in the meantime, I'm thinking like, there are other people who don't necessarily look like you who don't have that. They're not waiting, and they're going ahead. So his parents are an important part of that as well.
Definitely, especially for that demographic, and just getting people into tech and that sort of thing, just pushing them and letting them know that this is a viable career, this is a viable option. So that's phenomenal that your community are doing that, and we really appreciate that. And speaking to mayamada, we are going to drop you guys' links. Please, everyone, go give mayamada Gamepad. They do comics, they do gaming, they do everything here in London. And obviously, they will be having a Gamepad online event in September, I think.
Yes, September 26th.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, they're also doing, on August 26th, they're doing the link between gaming addiction and with the neuroscientist, I believe. So
I didn't realize this. I could self-promote as much as you are. So
we're trying
on Wednesday,
to let everyone know about all you.
Okay, let me switch into my. We do have our next. So like I said, we've transitioned from a physical to an online event. We did our first online event in June, and our next one is on Saturday, the 26th of September. So you can join us there. Once I figure out all this Twitch and YouTube stuff, it'll be on there. And this Wednesday, the 26th of August, we'll be doing our first panel on well-being and video games. So we've got myself, Gamepad Online host Tazzy, as well as Michael Schmidt, who's a neuroscience researcher and author and a former teenage video game addict himself, plus Sarah Castro, who is not in the games industry, but is very experienced in terms of like child well-being and particularly online. So we wanted to bring like different perspectives into that conversation and see where it goes.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
That's so phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nigel. Now we are virtually traveling all the way to Brazil to Wakanda Streamers creator, Alex. Please, Alex, let the audience know who you are, and please unmute your mic.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation, Enzi.
Of course.
Really pleased to be among a lot of people that are trying to change the world, and in fact are doing it. We know that it's not just romantic stuff like, oh, we're changing the world, this is beautiful. Yes, and we're also not sleeping well, we're not eating well. And so my name is Talix, or Thales, Talish, Tails, or which is easier. I'm 35 years old. I have 2 beautiful kids, and I'm from Brazil. Nice. As you already said, I'm based in Brazil.
Welcome.
And that's pretty much it.
I mean, we were just going to ask you who you are, where you're based, but
you got us there. So, what do you do? What exactly do you do in terms of the gaming sphere and that kind of thing?
In terms of gaming, Well, I used to play a lot more, but I don't know if you guys had this sensation, but when you start playing on the internet with a lot of people that you don't know, and here in Brazil, we didn't have this. I don't know how to say this group of black people playing together. So we were mostly playing with white people, and they don't know what we go through. They don't understand. Some don't want to understand, and some really don't understand. So with this, you're bringing the toxic material inside your house. So I used to play a lot more. When I started streaming and started taking these risks and stuff, I started to also not want to play anymore because I was bringing problems into my house. And this was bad. But nowadays I'm trying, with Wakanda Streamers, I'm trying to get a little back to get back to the playing and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
If you could explain to the audience what Wakanda Streamers is, for those who don't know who Wakanda Streamers are, they're amazing, but not everyone knows. If you could introduce Wakanda Streamers.
Yeah, so I idealized the Wakanda Streamers, and I cannot tell you very well what is Wakanda Streamers, because Wakanda Streamers, we have a lot of goals to achieve. The first one was to, when we tried to meet another black gamer, we tried to search on Google, black streamer.
Yeah.
And all we could find was black streamer PC. And this is not what we wanted to find. So now when we type this in Portuguese, we find Wakanda Streamers. And today we have like almost 600 streamers. And
It's amazing.
we're still growing.
Yes.
And it's something new here in Brazil. I was talking to Jermaine, and he was shocked. He was, "What do you mean? You didn't have black gamer groups in Brazil?" Oh yeah, we didn't. Now we do, and we're really excited about it.
Nice.
But also, we're being compared to a lot of networks, but then comes the problem. We're not exactly a network. The fact that we're showing here, there are more than 600 black gamers out there. We're now finding each other. We're coming together. This is a stand, you know. So it's a huge thing here in Brazil. But if we compare to a network, then we're not properly working as one, because we do not have the structure that a network does. And we're being also compared to an enterprise, and we do not have the structure of an enterprise. But as I talked to Anzi, like I think 2 months ago, I'm trying to create numbers. I'm trying to bring black people together here in Brazil. And the most powerful thing that we want to do in some years is to provide jobs at home, to provide home office to people that doesn't even have office, nor regular office.
Yeah.
So we're achieving some things slowly, of course, but it's a hard path to follow.
No, with that, it's very understandable. It's not easy creating a community. I think everyone here can say yes. I see Brand nodding like yes. It's not easy to create community, especially when there's a lot of pushback, and it's hard when, like, you know,
the anonymity of gaming provides a space for people to voice the kind of toxicity that we normally receive. Like in real life, they wouldn't dare say it, but because they've got the anonymity of a username, they can say whatever they like. And then when they get banned, they then do
a new account,
username 1, and then that's it. And then it's suddenly a brand new person.
Yeah. And I'm also, it's funny you said it, because I'm trying to, I don't know if we're going to achieve that, but we're trying things, right? And we want to channel this here in Wakanda Streamers, like, how can I say this? All these reports we're trying to bring these reports together, like through an email or whatever it is, to then show in journals and everywhere. So you see here, Facebook has this much reports, so he's condescending with this practice. This is a criminal practice. They can ban streamers through audio, but they're not using this technology to protect us. Why not?
It's true.
And if they can do this through audio, they can surely do this from text. So it's like I'm opening my house to criminals. Oh, you can stab anyone you want. I'm not gonna call the police for this. So the enterprises, they are big, so they can control the toxicity.
Yeah.
And they can and they must provide a better environment for everybody, not only
That's
for
exactly
black community, but we want to push them against the
It's
wall,
true.
you know?
They have the we feel like they're not doing enough, and I think that's why we've all sort of thought we need to do something as well. And they need to be reaching out to us too. There needs to be more that needs to be done, because there are ways to stop some of the toxicity in gaming, but it feels like if they're not making any money from it, they won't do it.
I know. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, Anzi. I know that Minecraft, for example, have one of the best anti-bullying systems out there, where it's like they are very hot on it, because a lot of parents were very worried that since Minecraft is such a child-friendly game, that when their children were on it, they didn't want them to be exposed to a lot of toxic behavior that can come
and
with
bullying.
it.
But bullying is, you can be bullied at 3 to like 100. You can be bullied whatever age you are. So it's like, it's a feature because there's a lot of children on Minecraft, but bullying is a universal thing that everyone experiences.
And the fact that they have this technology which you spoke about, and they're using it for this kind of with this practice, that means it can be engineered to make sure to protect us from all the trolls that we sometimes receive. So from that standpoint, I understand fully what you mean. Like, it's just...
But I think it's also maybe some of them, I don't want to say all, because maybe some of them know about this technology, but this is the first I'm hearing of it, which is why it's important to hear from loads of different voices, diverse voices, because we all add something different, you know? To, like, if you were in a boardroom, for example, you could have suggested this. No one else has thought of this because their mind isn't there, you know? And then you will bring something new. And everyone else, if you have a diverse team, but if you have a team where everyone went to the same school, everyone looks alike, everyone thinks alike, they're all going to come up with the same idea and be like, yes, that's a good idea. Yes. It's like copy and paste. But if you have like a diverse voice, then everyone will be giving different things.
But what I especially like about what you're doing is that he's actually gathering all the reports, and then and then you were going to say, no, this is a problem, here's the proof.
That's the thing. The facts are important.
I don't want to... So people say, oh, so you want to gather the reports and ask politely, like Facebook or YouTube or whatever, to reduce this? No, I don't want to do this, because all these reports are already doing this. They receive a lot of reports, but they're not doing anything. I would love to say they're not doing enough, but I think they're not doing anything at all in this case, because and if people do that when they are anonymous, it's because they feel comfortable to think that on a regular life, on the daylight, we have killings on the daylight of black people, of LGBT community, and the I don't know how to say this in English, the people that are deaf, hearing,
disabled people,
disabled people. We don't have access to places, and what I'm getting a lot here in Brazil is that racism is not our problem, because we're not racist. So
no
we didn't create it.
It's their problem. It's true.
So and also the other stuff. So with Wakanda Streamers, I think a lot of this place of taking black people in, and there's a lot of things like we have to exercise our hearing. We must hear. We must listen to each other. We must listen more than speak, which is a problem that is creating a lot of other problems. So we must listen. If we want to be listened, we must listen our Black brothers and sisters. And this inside Wakanda Streamers. Outside Wakanda Streamers, we must listen other diversities. Because we have a lot of other diversities. And we, as a representative minority, we want to be heard. So why not hear other minorities?
It's true.
Of course.
And get together with Nigel to crumble the empire.
You guys on your empires.
You see, he had the right idea.
You guys see his man here waiting for you.
So, how do you believe your community sets out to achieve the problems that we were just discussing earlier? Like you briefly touched upon it about how you guys would come together as a united front before you then go out to face the world. So is that along those lines?
Well, it's really hard because really hard because I'm 35 years old, so I'm 35 years of culture, and we're all brought up in this culture. It's I don't know if there's this term in English, colonized culture. Colonized
we know that term.
Okay.
We're familiar with it.
Yeah, because I didn't study before I came here. I know I should study the things that I would say in English, but it's I had to sleep and have lunch with kids, so I didn't.
No, of course,
study.
yeah.
Okay, so we all get to Wakanda Streamers or to whatever we go with this short mind, with this colonized thinking, because this is how we were created. So to put things, to put this wheel to spin, this thing to move, we must change ourselves from inside. So when I say that my life depends on me, I'm done, because it's really hard work. So it's not being easy.
Yeah.
It's not being easy. A lot of people get in Wakanda Streamers wanting it all done. Oh, how come I'm here? I'm a Black gamer. I'm here to help, and I'm not being served. I'm not getting a lot of raids, and I'm not growing up as a streamer. Why is it happening? I thought I would come here and be famous, and well, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. I didn't say that.
Yeah, we know that kind of person.
Yeah.
Trust me. It's more than
I
just
think
streaming.
It's all over the world, right?
Yeah, it's building a community, you know. And I saw Brown, you tweeted about this a few days ago, I think, about more than just streaming, more than it's just really making a change, and that's what we're trying to do. We are a community, but we're trying to push for more than just gaming or just streaming on Twitch or something.
And more importantly, we're trying to push for more than just an individual's needs. Yeah. For everybody's needs.
It's everyone, you know, everyone working together. If our voices are raised in concert, we can be heard. You know, that's what's important to us. But thank you so much for talking to us. We're going to drop your links. It's been amazing. Everyone, please go and follow Wakanda Streamers. Wakanda forever. Their links are in the chat. They are amazing streamers. They've got a huge streaming network in Brazil. Even if you're not Brazilian, everyone, this is a worldwide thing. We're all following each other. We're all, what we were saying earlier, we're humans. So go and follow them, following each other, networking. We can really get some stuff done. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm from Brazil. We're going to jump to America. To Brandy, who founded an inspiring community for women called Brown Girl Gamer Code. Bran, if you would like to unmute your mic.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Brandy. Should I just go ahead and introduce myself?
Yes, please.
Okay. So yes, my name is Brandy. I am born and raised from Detroit, Michigan, but I'm currently in the DMV. I am the creator and community manager for Brown Girl Gamer Code, and BGGC is a digital community for Black and brown women in gaming and tech, with the mission to fight for equity and representation in the gaming and tech industries. So that's basically what we do. We host a lot of, all of our events are online, primarily on Twitch, and through our community Discord as well. So it was founded in 2017 by me and my best friend, my very, very best friend, Brittany, Brandy and Brittany. But she and I, we've been best friends since we were 11 years old. We connected through The Sims. That's what brought us together. So we've been playing The Sims all our lives, really, through our teenage years and our adult years. And so we were just kind of talking about our bond through The Sims, and just talking about the lack of representation of Black and brown women. We didn't see ourselves, even in The Sims, we didn't see ourselves. It was hard to see ethnic hairstyles and just, skin tones not looking how they should. And then I just didn't see anyone in the industry, and it was really hard. I tried to Google Black women in gaming, and it was very hard to find them. Why is this not a thing? Why is it so hard? Even Google can't find it. So Google finds everything. And so we talked about it, and we was like, let's create a space, one, where people like us who love gaming, Black and brown women who love gaming, will have a space to just love gaming safely. And that's it, where we can just be gamers and not be so hyper focused on how we show up and our skin tone and our skin color all the time. Where we can just talk about games and just be in community with each other. And also a space where we could create a platform to amplify the voices of Black and brown women in the industry. So let's find these people. Let's find them and give them a space where we can center our voices, because unfortunately in the gaming industry and the tech industry, our voices are not centered. They're often ignored. We deal with a lot of type of things, a lot of pushback whenever we do bring up the issue of racism and sexism of Black and brown women. So that is why Brown Girl Gamer Code was created. So we are still alive and thriving, still growing. And so, that is about me and BGGC.
Thank you. Cool. That was an amazing, that was wonderful. Everything. Almost two of the top questions, you've already said it.
Let us decide.
I was about to say, why did you create your community? But you just said. Yeah. What do you hope to achieve, though, with Brown Girl Gamer Code?
Yeah, so I want to achieve a lot of things. I have really big dreams for the code. So one, to continue to center Black and brown women in gaming and tech. I want to open the door. I want to kick the door open for us. And I want to create opportunities and link the people in our community to opportunities in the gaming industry. And not only that, but making sure that the spaces that they're entering are safe and welcoming for them. Because unfortunately, it's not enough to just hire us, but we don't want to put our people in toxic environments where there's a lot of racism, sexism, and predatory behavior going on. So that's really what we want to do, is provide opportunities. We also want to provide scholarships for people. A lot of Black and brown women are interested in PC gaming, but it costs a lot of money to build a PC and to buy a PC. And so we want to be able to provide scholarships for people to go to get a PC, to go to these conferences where, I think right now, because of COVID, we are in a unique situation where a lot of the conferences are digital, they're online, which I appreciate, because there's a huge access issue too when it comes to Black and brown women getting into the spaces. And so we want to be able to provide scholarships for people whenever we get to the point where we can go outside again and convene in a conference.
One day.
Whenever that happens, we would like to be able to send people to those conferences so that they can network and things like that, because that's a huge issue. It's as a young girl, I think about myself as a young Black girl that loves gaming. It was never marketed to me or like presented to me that I could go into gaming as a career, or I could build a game, or I could talk about games with other people like that. And so I want to create that space where we are showing little Black girls like, yes, you can do this. little Black and brown girls, you can do this.
True.
You can get in here. Here's someone who looks like you, who has done it. So yeah, those are some of the things that we want to do. I really just want BGGC to be a huge network at some point where we're on TV.
Yes, sir.
I want us, where we bring people to a show where people can see, hey, this is so-and-so who is in the FGC community, and she's kicking butt. You know what I mean? So like, I want us to be represented. I want us to continue to have a space where we are the center, where you look at game awards and you just don't see us on the stage presenting. You don't see us hosting. You don't see us, talking about our experiences. You don't see characters being in these games where they're showcased, like that feature a playable Black woman
in a non-stereotypical way as well,
right? And in a positive way where it's not just rooted in our pain.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I just that's what we want. That's the goal for Brown Girl Gamer Code.
Well, it's an amazing goal, and we 100% support it. What do you think? The final question is, because you've answered things so brilliantly and wonderfully that you face because you're based in America. What do you think there's some challenges that your community faces because of where you're based?
So we're all over the place. We have people in America, we have people in the UK, we have people all over the world, really. Most of us are in America. I think, I think there's an access issue. I think this is one thing that I kind of admire about the UK gaming scene, just from being in America, is that, I don't know, it just seems like you all are, like, the gaming scene is a little more centered or just amplified. I don't know if maybe that's just because I'm like paying attention to the gaming communities, but in America, like, it just doesn't seem like Black women and women of color in gaming and tech are the center, obviously, but it just doesn't seem like people care or they pay attention. It just doesn't seem like they're interested in what we're doing.
Yeah.
You don't really see it. Like, we're here, we are on social media, we stream, we do all of these things, but still you don't see these companies like reaching out to us to consult, to provide opportunities. It's very rare. It's very rare that they do that. So it's been really hard to get ourselves noticed and get ourselves out there. I think that's a huge thing. Also, the intersectionality of racism and sexism, and also homophobia, transphobia as well, as from people in our community and things like that. And it's hard to break through. It's really hard to break through when, you have white cisgender males that are still who they want to cater to, who they want to market to, who they want to invite to. And give them jobs. It's like, no, we have people in our community that are interested, that can do the work, that are doing the work. Why? What is it going to take for you all to, like, what do you want?
Like, what the hell? Like, what do we have to do?
We're here. So I think that's the biggest, one of the biggest challenges. Again, I also think access as well. And I think too, like, being in this pandemic where, we have unemployment rates that are skyrocketing, and just the way that the U.S. is handling the whole situation is a huge barrier. Yeah. Where it's hard to focus on or even invest in yourself in gaming. It's hard to just kind of take a leap into the gaming industry and look for a job and things like that when there just aren't a lot of opportunities for us. And also where, if you want to, you can't really just spend a couple grand on a PC right now or gaming equipment to increase your stream or your stream quality and things like that. So, we got a lot of problems. We got a lot of problems. So unfortunately, we have to take care of ourselves and prioritize different things too. So yeah, I think those are some of the things.
Thank you so much, Baron, for the chat was popping off while you were talking, like, go on, girl, speak your truth, all of that sort of stuff. And it was just, it's what you're saying resonates with me so much. And it's just like, I feel like there can be a separate panel just to talk about how things are handled. Just so much to unpack. People, please go and give Brown Girl Gamer Code a follow. Their links are in the chat. Like, they have an amazing stream team as well that they stream. They're doing things for brown and black women, and it's really important to protect now more than ever. Protect black women. You guys have seen that trending, and it's just very important.
Indeed.
Right now. We all need to be sticking together. We all need to be protecting each other. So go and give them a follow. Thank you so much. I think we're leaving America. We're going all the way to the African continent.
Yes,
the heart of Nigeria, to NGC, as it's locally known, the Nigerian game community. Founder of this great community is Michael. Michael, can you please unmute your mic? Thank you, Bran.
Hello.
Yes,
hello.
Hey there. Welcome.
My name is Michael Seth, and I'm probably the youngest person here. That was established already. I'm 18 years old, and then I founded the Nigerian gaming community last year, September, 2019 September. And this was because I noticed that there was this lack of recognition for Nigerian gamers. Mm-hmm. We have potential gamers in Nigeria, but we're not being recognized. The talent are so scattered all over the places. Like the organizations that are creating competitions for Nigerian gamers are not connected together. Like one person will host a competition, a very few amount of people will know about it, and then another person will host a competition, a very few amount of people will know about it, and then at the end of the day, you don't get much attention to esports in Nigeria. So I created the Nigerian gaming community to serve as this body that will connect each organizations together.
That's really good. Thank you so much. Tell us what is that you do as well.
What does the community do?
Yeah.
What we do, we're for the basics, we promote content creators in Nigeria, like I explained before. If you check Facebook, there's no Nigerian who's an official Facebook streamer. That's because Facebook does not allow this region, African region. The only country in Africa that's allowed to be official streamers is Morocco, which is quite sad because they're saying whole of Africa, the only country eligible to stream is Morocco, is really, I find that really funny. So I had to do a little research, and I found out that the problem was they don't see esports as a major factor in Nigeria yet. Maybe they see it in Morocco. They don't see it in Nigeria and as well as other African countries. So the problem is not mainly Facebook. We have to look within ourselves. We need to come together.
Yeah.
Before these international bodies can recognize us, we need to come together. We're too scattered. We need to come together and arrange ourselves before we can get this international recognition. So that's what the NGC does. We promote content creators. We we spread out the word about them. It's like, for instance, now if someone an organization creates a competition, we help that organization spread the word all over Nigeria. That's what we do. And then if you want to start up an esports team, we help you promote your brand throughout Nigeria. So we're serving like this governing body of esports in Nigeria.
Mm. That's really insane that you're creating something like that.
Yeah, at the ripe old age of 18, you got a future.
But it's crazy that they're only allowing. I mean, I'm gonna have to look into that because that's
mad.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm just looking at it now. To be eligible for Facebook streaming, you have to apply. You have to create a gaming page. You have to be have at least 100 followers. Your page needs to be active for at least 14 days. And you need to be admin of 18 and above. That's obvious. And then when you go to the content studio, you want to apply to become an official, to have that stamp as an official Facebook streamer.
Yeah.
Then they go this region and say, check your region.
You're rejected based on where you're based.
For the continent of Africa.
That's
where you're based.
That blows my mind.
I don't know. We need to check it.
That's insane to me. That could
when you check the it's actually true. You can search it up. Just search it up.
No,
on
I know
Facebook.
what you're saying, but it seems
Africa
crazy
is Morocco.
that they won't allow the. I mean, we're talking about
a whole continent,
a whole continent,
a whole
entire continent made up of loads of different countries. Only one country is allowed.
They're literally saying. Exactly.
That's insane.
They're literally saying you can be in Nigeria and be an official streamer.
That's exactly what they're saying.
And you can actually blame them. You can't blame them because you can't blame them fully because we in Nigeria, the esports community has not yet been established fully. We're still growing. There's still a bit of issues with the government recognizing esports in Nigeria and actually putting up a body to govern esports in Nigeria. That is yet to happen. We're still waiting on an official body that is inaugurated by the government to govern esports in Nigeria. That's not yet happened. So I can understand per se, but again, it's insane. The whole of Africa is not included in their whole program. It's really, really insane.
It's insane. I feel like some petition needs to happen because how can you ever grow if you can't even be recognized because of where you're based?
Why?
You can't even be recognized as a streamer because of where you're based.
I don't even understand why the roadblock was there in the beginning.
That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
That is why I find it that it's literally almost impossible for this our cry for African servers to be heard.
Yeah.
Because the streamers were supposed to be putting out these words, helping us reach out to these game developers.
Yeah.
They don't exist. They're not allowed to exist and put it that way because I know a few Nigerian content creators and streamers who stream with other platforms. And then when they go to all these major other platforms like Facebook, they're not allowed to be official there.
Yeah.
So when we cry for this African server, we're not fully heard, or the cry is not loud enough. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've signed that petition to get servers in Africa. I've signed that petition, but it's
we
can't believe it's a petition to be signed.
I've seen that
right?
that petition has gone up to over 5,000.
Yeah, I know.
Signed, but still we're not getting anything. We're not getting anything back, and it's really, really unfair because the network issues are something you need to face in Africa as a gamer. The network issue with the lagging system, we can't compete fully with people like people in other continents when we go for international competition. It's literally unfair because our connection is a bit bad. But still, we walk through it, and then hopefully by sooner or later they should give us an African server because we deserve it, and we've been working towards that. We really, really deserve an African server.
That's just insane, and I feel like we're gonna have to do something about. That's a separate issue entirely.
Indeed, we have to do something.
Crazy. But you said what you hope to achieve, and I feel like there's definitely more needs to be done, especially when it comes to the entire African continent as a whole. How is it not recognizing
a whole continent?
I can't wrap my head around that, so we're just gonna have to just. But what do you believe? Like, obviously, you've answered the question of why it's difficult in your region because lack of servers not being there. The fact that you can't even be recognized is insane. So you can't be recognized because of your region. It's already a roadblock to doing other things. Setting up different tournaments, all of these things, connection. It's just crazy. But what do you hope? In terms of Nigerian gaming community, what do you hope to achieve in the end with your community?
Yeah, what I hope to achieve, let me bring it down a bit personal, then bring it to the whole general idea. I'm a gamer myself. My in-game name is Bluestorm912, and for me, starting up a YouTube channel was very, very hard. I found it was very, very hard because I could not reach out to those Nigerian gamers. Like I said, they're too scattered. I was not reaching out to enough Nigerian gamers. And then even when I'm playing certain games like PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty, I find it very hard to meet these Nigerian gamers, understand, and then play with them. So the Nigerian gaming community, what I hope for the community to do is to connect these gamers together, bring them to a platform where it will be easier for us to find ourselves. So that we can then project ourselves to the world globally. Well, before we can make esports an international or global something in Nigeria, we need first to make it an individual thing. We need to be connected. We need to have that standard, that base in Nigeria first. So the NGC, what I hope for it to achieve is to connect esports in Nigeria. That's just the ground basis of what I want. I want in the next 2-3 years for someone to say, I am an esports professional gamer in Nigeria. I don't have to leave my country to become an esports professional.
Exactly.
I'm in my country and I'm a Nigerian professional gamer. I want someone to say that in the next 2-3 years, and that is what I'm looking forward to.
We're speaking that into existence right now.
We're here with you.
We're speaking that right into existence right now. We're behind you on that energy. Thank you so much. You guys, please follow the Nigerian gaming community.
We sign that petition.
Sign that petition. We will be putting links on the MG website. We will be talking about this because this is not over. This is not the end of this conversation. Because that's insane. Please, MGR, please drop the links for the communities. Make sure you guys follow each other. Please, we're building the community. We are stronger when we work together. Thank you, Michael, so much for talking to us. Now we're going to go back to London.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. A group of gamers that podcast, stream, and present Streamcast. Andy and Troy, please unmute your mics and come for it.
Hello.
Hey
everyone.
Hello. Streamcast. I'm saying it like that because that's how it goes on their YouTube. Streamcast. So we have two of the co-founders from Streamcast, Andy and Troy. This is Troy on the screen right now because I keep saying Andy and Troy and it keeps changing. So please tell us who you are individually and then tell us what Streamcast is.
Okay, cool. So I can start with myself. So I'm Troy. I'm now a father of one, so about 7 months now. Thank you. And a very, very casual gamer based in London. And I work with Andy, who introduced himself as well.
I'm Andy, one of the co-founders of Streamcast. And again, based in London. I love games, they're my passion. So.
And then two of us, along with Isaac and Akira, have formed Streamcast. So we're kind of, Andy will go more into it later, but we're a gaming brand based in London.
Please tell the people who don't know who Streamcast are. We all obviously know who Streamcast are. Tell us who Streamcast are and what you guys do.
So as Troy mentioned earlier, Streamcast is a team of 4 people, and 2 people are here right now. Troy and myself, and 2 other people. We create regular gaming content that includes podcasts, discussing the latest gaming news and promoting diversity in the industry. Our live streams that we've started to do, which is, it's part of the name Streamcast, so we've got to do streams. And we do a lot of other gaming content, like we play indie games like Before I Forget, Broforce. We have a website where we do regular blogs talking about stuff like the PS5 and indie games like Nier Automata.
You've gone silent. Yeah, there's no
silence. I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Origin story behind Streamcast. We want it.
Basically, how did it all start?
Should I take this one, Troy, or do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I think you explain it pretty well.
Origin story. So my first console was the Dreamcast. And I really liked that console. I thought it was really underrated. Didn't get the love it deserved. And I was cycling through names for the brand. And I combined streams and casts from podcasts and mixed them up to get Streamcast. And it sounds like my favorite console. So that's the origin story. It started off with me and Isaac, who isn't here, but he's a very prominent member. We've been friends for about a decade now. So there's just natural chemistry there. And Troy joined within the first 12 months. And again, we've known Troy for a decade now. So that natural chemistry is there. Akira joined about September, I think just after our first anniversary. And again, she is a great gamer. She actually adds quite a lot of different opinions. So that is really good to hear from her about games that she's liking, what she's thinking about certain things. And it's important for us to have that diversity. So having someone who's not male actually helps us a lot with our overall voice.
Nice. If only the companies would have that kind of mindset. Diversity is good. So with Streamcast, what do you hope to achieve? What's the end? I would say what's the end goal, but what's the big plan? What's the world domination saying?
You want me to take this one? Or are you good with that?
Yeah, you can take this one if you want.
I think for us, the end goal, I wouldn't say it's world domination, but it's connecting globally. I feel like as we're content creators, first and foremost, there's very prominent channels that exclude us, and we have to be honest about that. From the back end, in terms of writers to streamers to their YouTubers to presenters, and we want to come in and change that. We want to, within our, I guess, London and UK community, kind of draw people and talents together to kind of create this gaming content hub, and hopefully translate it globally. So not just in the areas we're already reaching, so the UK, America and Australia, but hopefully even just across the river to France, Germany, and just different areas where news that are quite local can get brought to kind of a global front as well. And the people that you see becomes a bit more diverse. We see a lot of generally white male, particularly is a very stereotypical white male nerd, I'll say, from a lot of the top, I guess, gaming content creators. And I think there's more to being a gamer, and there's more kind of visually and personality that we feel kind of gets lost and put to the background because for whatever reason you don't get the right platform, or maybe you're a great streamer but you struggle on social media, or we just want to provide that platform where you're part of the team, you stream, you do your thing basically. We're not going to take you outside of your element, but you've come to a platform where your voice can be amplified. So if you're going to write a piece of content that you would only get in Black History Month, but now it's January, you want to be paid for it. We want to be that place for you, If you want to do some videos about on reviews, we want to be that place. So that's kind of the long-term global goal that we're hoping to achieve.
Cool.
I like that. You broke that down very nicely, and it's very true as well. Just the idea of different personalities, just different perspectives of people of a diverse network, especially in different parts. I mean, it's always like the UK and then America, and then that's kind of it. And it's just like there are other countries, like France, Belgium, like also Europe as in general as well, like really networking with each other. How do you believe your community tackles the problem you set out to achieve? I think I read that correctly.
So our community, we believe, has helped us tackle the problem. We've helped and collaborated with great brands such as yourself, MelaninGamers, and mayamada to deliver banging events like Gamepad. And we really are we're really trying to change the focus of things when it comes to commentary on gaming. For example, IGN put out something about what games women like, and then that was taken down, and stuff like that. We really want to be at the forefront of, hey, this is wrong, this is why it's wrong, and not just like malicious either. We're trying to educate, because like Talish earlier said, not everyone gets what we have to go through, and like what Michael said, a lot of people have barriers at the very first hurdle. So there are tons of people that game, and Black people make a huge percentage of that in terms of consuming. So we really want to be like the vehicle that helps Black gaming and Black people in general become a normality in gaming, and I would like to see that happen over the next few years.
I think the idea of that is true, that just a normality as opposed to a special thing, or let's make this, like this month is going to be, we celebrate Black people, and then for the rest of the year, screw them, forget them. I think if it just becomes a normal thing, it's just, it will just be, oh, I'm just a gamer. you know, and then we can just be gamers and we can all just be gamers. And when we say that, when you say I'm a gamer, it invokes this image in your head of some white nerdy dude hunched in his basement somewhere tapping away on his screen.
I actually want to know where that comes from. Like, where does that actually come from?
Probably films. It's always films,
right? Every film you see, he's in his basement. He has amazing stuff all around him, like the Pac-Man machine. I'm like, first of all, how does he afford all of that thing? But that's the image that you get because they've normalized that image. And I think the idea of trying to normalize an image of, actually, when I say gamer, now we don't know what that looks like. You know, it could be a black woman, it could be a brown woman, it could be a black man, it could be anybody, you know. And I think that's what's important, just to normalize the idea of it, as opposed to making it special, because it has to be normal. And then when I say I'm a gamer to someone, they won't look at me surprised. You know, I have to mute my mic because I'm a woman. That kind of thing can be normalized. I think that's really crucial.
Yeah, it is. And I think being in the UK as well, if you look at particularly our music culture, gaming is pretty ingrained as well. Particularly from, I guess, some of our drill and grime rappers. They speak about it a lot.
Exactly.
It's very normal to the people who just play. But as soon as you come out of your own personal circles, it becomes that. It's no longer normal. So hopefully in the next couple of years, like Andy says, that does change.
That's very true. That's very true. When I was growing up as a gamer, I didn't realize it was something different. Because my brothers gamed, my cousins gamed. But then when I told someone else outside of our circle, I was like, "You gaming? You're a girl?" And it was just like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, is it?"
Yeah.
Is it
you know what annoyed me is when they try to test you. When it comes to that, that's how you catch your Iron Man. It's PG-13, so
tons of gatekeepers.
Thank you, Streamcast, so much for talking with us. MGR agent, can you please drop links to Streamcast? Please, you guys follow Streamcast. Streamcast.
You owe me a match, Andy. I haven't forgotten.
Okay, you guys can tell. So follow Streamcast. They are streaming. They actually got affiliate just like last week or something. So amazing. They start streaming on Twitch. They also stream on YouTube and they do podcasts as well. Please give them a follow. Everyone, please support each other. We are trying to grow, all of us together.
Stronger together.
We are stronger together. So now, where are we off to? We're back to America again for another community I recently discovered, actually, to increasing diversity for Black gamers, the Black Gamers League. We're going to hear from the brains behind the Black Gamers League, and that's Chris. Please introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name's Chris Davis, aka Forrest Davis from the Black Gamer League. I'm the founder of Black Gamer League and the founder of an esport org, Force Management Group. I founded Black Gamer League with the main goal in mind is to create an environment in the community that uplifts not only Black gamers but people in the gaming industry. I feel as though as Black people we are often overlooked. And I wanted to be a solution or one of the solutions as we see today that could really promote ourselves and help ourselves on these journeys that we are all on.
Thank you.
Nice. So what do you do? Black Gamer League, so we're at the base or the core of everything, the community. So we are just a bunch of people in the industry, gamers, streamers, content creators, writers, graphic designers. We are all here to support each other in a way that one of the things I found was that we didn't have all of the support in general. That other people may, as we've heard from our other communities, it's hard to find that support. So instead of begging for the support, trying to get people to look at us and look in our direction, I just decided to, instead of trying to find a seat to the table, I made my own table. A lot of times I think as Black people, we get caught up in that whole mode of asking for help or why is no one doing this for us? And I didn't want to be in that same cycle anymore. So my main thing was just trying to create something for us that I would be willing to open up to everyone and, keep pushing the culture. We make the culture. We push the culture. So there's no reason why we have to keep on asking for help when we can, we're more than capable of doing things ourselves.
That's very true.
That's true. If I just ask off the cuff again. So you kind of answered why you wanted to create a community. You wanted to, like you said, have your own table where you then bring everybody else to there and saying, this is our space. you're welcome to join us, rather than we go to your space. So, what do you hope to achieve through that kind of methodology when it comes to creating your own space and that kind of thing with the Black Gamers League? Sorry.
No, you're fine. One key word that sticks out to me when I'm asked a question like that is exposure. I'm a sport management professor at a historically Black college university called Livingstone College in Salisbury, North Carolina. And as we all know, we've always shared that from a young age, we've been gamers. We're all Black. Yeah. I talk to my students on a daily, and they're constantly talking about gaming, but they don't know the opportunities that they can have from being a gamer, from being a content creator. We're not exposed to it. We're, at some point in our lives, we may hear about it. We may hear about a professional esport organization. We may hear about a streamer who's gotten all these endorsements and things like that, but we don't see ourselves in that space. Not only do we not see ourselves, but we don't know how to reach that level. Yeah. And a lot of it comes from just not knowing about it, not having exposure to it. We all game. We love gaming. I can ask every single one of my students what their favorite game is, when they started playing. But guess what? They don't know how to take that and make it an actual career. Yeah. They don't know how to take that and make it, turn it from a passion to something that can actually support them. So I found, talking to my students, young people looking at me in my face as a Black professor myself, I'm showing them I can be, they can be a professor, but there are so many other avenues, especially in gaming and things that they're passionate about, that they can find and make for themselves. So I just feel like that's really where my passion comes from, because I hate, as I said, I'm a sport management professor. So coming from the sporting world and as a gamer, I understand that the sports industry has always had that leg up. Certain people have had that leg up, and Black people especially have not had the same opportunities to necessarily climb the ranks in the sports industry. And with a organization or a sport like esports is going to be, the next NFL, the NBA, NHL, MLB, I don't want to sit back and let my people, have to play catch up in a new sport that's going to be taking over the world. It doesn't make sense for us to always have to play catch up. So my passion comes from that point exactly. I'm not going to sit behind and let us, be behind for the next 100 years or so,
Trust
fire.
Facts. Literally, is what you said is right on the money, because it's people. I've read different articles. I was reading this article on LinkedIn about esports being the next, especially in the times that we're living in right now. And I watched this match of FIFA, and like two football players were playing it, and I was just like, this could be what we're doing. This could be right alongside football in real life, actually watching it as well as a competitive sports. And we don't always want to be like, oh, and then we have to catch up all over again, and let's create this thing after it's already come and gone. Whilst it's still, esports obviously is big. It's just, I feel like it's just going to get bigger. Yes. I mean,
I think it's still in its infant stage, actually.
Yeah. Gaming, how much did gaming make last year?
It beat movies, and I think it made 80 billion.
80 billion.
It beat movies and music combined.
It made more than that
to be made in this industry.
And we want to be at the forefront of that, because there are so many talented people of color who are into sports and do not just want to be content creators as well, because there's space for that, but also want to be on the esports side of things where they're trying to do it professionally. And arming them with that one knowledge to their parents, knowing that, hold on, this is actually a viable career, your child is really good, they can do this thing. And them themselves saying that you can do this. No one looks like you here, but you can be the first one to do it. Or these people who look like you here, this person can help you. I think also the idea of and Black Gamers League have this thing where they have a chat on Fridays. It's having a mentor, having someone to talk to. How do I do this? How do I do that? When you have people who are just like, this is how you do it. Like, when I first found the MelaninGamers, there were so many people I was speaking to about it, and they were all very, very helpful. This is how you run an event. Like, Nigel knows, I was always like calling, how do I do an event? How do I run this thingy? People are there to help you, and they will open the door, they will lend a hand, they will like build a table like you're doing, come sit at this table, that's the sort of proactive behavior. And it's an amazing thing to see, and it's so wonderful that you're doing that.
Sorry, I don't know about this this mentorship program. Could you explain?
No, he doesn't have a mentorship program. It's like a call, and everyone sort of just discusses everything.
So weekly in our Discord on Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, we have just a community game night call. And that's where we come and we discuss things that are going on in the gaming industry or things that are just going on in general in the world. Because I feel like that's another part of all of our communities that we really have a big part in is we give a space where we might be talking about toxic gaming communities, or we could be talking about real world issues that Black people unfortunately are going through. And it doesn't mean that, you know, we're not focused on gaming, but at a certain point, we all live our regular lives. So, you know, what happens in our regular lives affects our passions and our goals and our drive for gaming in the industry and further things.
That's very true.
I have two, you know, I'm a husband and a father. I have two wonderful baby girls. And I want to make sure that when, you know, they get older, that if they want to game, they can game. If they want to stream as girl gamers, that they can stream without hearing that toxic, oh, what are you doing here? Yeah. And that's to be very, very light on what they say. Yeah. So, you know, I just want to make sure that while I'm here, that we can make an environment and create this opportunity for anyone to come in and be accepted in the gaming and also hopefully the world in general.
I'm into that. Thank you so much for ow, my eyeball. Thank you so much, Black Gamers League. You guys, please give them a follow, MGI, if you could drop their links in the chat. They are really doing a lot of things, as are all the communities. Again, you guys, we should be following each other, we should be supporting each other, and just like everyone growing together. And remember, if you guys need help, there are so many communities here to help you. That's the one thing that we should really be taking away from this, that there are loads of communities.
Whether it's individuals or whether it's other
people are here to help. So just, you know, reach out to people, things like that. So, last but not least, thank you so much, Chris, for talking with us. Last but not least, we have the Afro Gamer. So we're going back to Nigeria again, to the African continent. Chris, sorry, not Chris. If you could unmute your mic, Afro Gamer. The Afro Gamer. Hey there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, welcome. If you could tell everyone who you are and what your community is about.
Yes.
And what hello, everyone. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ife, the co-founder of the Afro Gamer. Born and raised in Nigeria, Africa, but I live in Atlanta, Georgia now. The Afro Gamer is an online media platform that focuses basically on esports content in Africa. So we tend to serve as the media, the shout out for anything that's happening from gamers to game developers to basically any talent in gaming and esports as in a nutshell.
Thank you. So what is it that you do, like, as the Afro Gamer?
Okay, so the Afro Gamer, we create content, and this is not streaming gaming content. Now we do online media where you can read about what's going on about talents in Africa, and we also have our podcast, our weekly podcast, where we interview different talents. It could be, you know, a game developer, it could be a studio CEO, it could even be the president of an esports federation, and we are just talking about what is happening in the gaming and esports scene in either their country or in Africa as a whole.
Amazing.
Cool. So, why did you create the community? So, what was the initial startup process for creating the Afro Gamer community?
Okay, so I've always been pro-Africa. Anything I see something good, something new, I'm like, oh, how can this work in Africa? Because the continent is always playing catch-up, which is, you know, which is sad. So, you know, I'm a gamer also. I stream and I play, and I started thinking to myself, do we actually have gamers, or do we have gaming communities in Africa? Back then, if you jump on Google, you practically see almost close to nothing. The best you would see would be an interview from BBC Africa about how gaming was a potential cash cow in Africa. That was the best. And I was like, that's impossible because I grew up in Nigeria, one. I used to spend my lunch money in gaming centers. I won't eat, I'll just go to gaming centers. So it's impossible for gaming communities not to exist. And I started to narrow it down, go back to Twitter, Facebook, and I started networking with different people. Then it was like a light bulb moment, like there's so much going on, but no one was reporting it. So I was like, then, the community itself is missing something because we know about sports, we know who the best athlete is, we know what they do because of the media. So why are we missing that out in Africa? So I decided to focus on that because I found out that the whole gaming industry was more saturated, where you had people either being gamers or just tournament organizers. And when I have a conversation with them, and I'm like, did you push out this tournament? Did you push out that you are going to start streaming at 7 p.m.? They like, no. And I'm like, then how do you expect people to find you or see you? So, with all that coupled together, I decided, what, I'm just going to actually be the voice for them. And that's what I've been doing since last year. So we will catch up with any talent, interview them. If tournaments are coming up, we serve as an extra source to just push it out. And if we need to collaborate in terms of tournament organizing or anything in particular, then we just collaborate with those communities.
That's a really good idea. I think that's really important as well. The idea of I think everyone knows how important it is promoting yourselves on various platforms. And if you're not talking about a situation, people, don't know about it. Or if they do know, it's sort of a vague idea in their head, like, oh, I think there's sports over there. But really reporting on something, that is obviously very crucial to people knowing about things. That's the reason why we're doing this panel. So that people know, look at all the communities around the world. These things are happening around the world. Everyone listen up, this is happening. And I think the idea of actually reporting in sports, especially on the continent, is very crucial because, so many people in the chat were saying that they didn't know about how the pushback in Nigeria, how you can't even connect to a server and things like that. We don't know about these things because they're not being reported. So I think the idea that you're focused on even reporting these things is so crucial and important, and people open their eyes. Actually, this is happening. That's happening. Information.
Just like any industry, music industry, the movie industry, in terms of Nigeria and Africa now, they had similar challenges. So it was not going to be new with the continent. Yeah. The only thing is gaming and esports has a better leverage because now we can collaborate. I can reach out to Chris and say, hey, this is what is happening. How can teams play, have an invitational, and so on and so forth. Music and the movie industry did not have that advantage. They just had to cater to themselves and build up the brand until when you now start going to Netflix and you start saying, oh, there's an Hollywood movie. But with the gaming industry, it's a little bit different. So what I tell most people is we're not going to, take as much time as the music or the movie industry. So
it's true. And also, last question: how do you believe your community tackles the problem you set out to achieve, and what do you really hope to achieve with what you're doing as well? I suppose those are two questions.
Like Nigel said, I think world domination.
You lot and your world domination. Stop it.
So I just hope to give more gaming and esports talents the voice. We give them the platform to be able to push themselves. That is the short-term goal. And the world domination plan basically is, to be able to push have, if it's going to be a channel for basically just esports in Africa. So, anyone who wants to push their content, then they'll push it through there. And something else that we notice is there's this disconnect between gamers and the game developers or the creative side in Africa. So another thing the AfroGamer is trying to do now is to bring them together, like, hey, the game developers should allow the gamers to test their games, give them feedback, and how they can, everyone tends to grow because a game developed in Asia, the Asians will always play it first. No matter how much there's a better game in Europe or in America, they'll play it first. So, on the AfroGamer, we try as much as possible, not just to push the gamers, but to also push the game developers. As we speak, there's a combat mobile game in the works. I think the demo's coming in a few days. And what the characters are African gods, basically.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So, and because of the culture we have, the board games, there are game developers rolling things like that out. But once again, no one is reporting on it. No one is pushing it out. This sports observer, this sports insider isn't seeing value yet. So
that's true. That's so cool.
The AfroGamer is there.
I'm gonna message you later about that because I'm curious about. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, it sounds lit.
It sounds amazing. But thank you so much, you guys. MJ Agent, if you could drop AfroGamer's links in the chat. Again, thank you to all the communities. Everyone, if you could unmute your mic so that we can all, let's do a gallery view. We can all discuss and talk about. We're going to take some questions. Thank you, Iffy, for that. Please, you guys follow the AfroGamer. The links are in the chat right now. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for all the support, all the different communities. We're going to be doing a live Q&A right now. So if you guys have, I know there's been so many questions in the chat. There's been loads. But please say your questions now because we will be taking questions from the chat.
Let's warm them up. Let me give a question. To the community. To all the communities.
Alan, please. Okay, so
do you think that like we were discussing with Talish, that the wider problems in society trickle down into our gaming communities? And if so, how do you believe they manifest in your gaming communities?
Anyone can ask
that. That's a big question to
start
with. Let me just consult Wikipedia and see like the statistics on racial disparity and everything like that. I think actually before I answer that question, can I just take a moment to point out the bookshelf and some of these books which I have actually read, because I've been looking at like Zoom etiquette and I understand that you need a bookshelf in the background. And the problem is I don't have kids or pets to adorably come on screen, so I just make sure it's books. Anyway, that's a completely different thing. But I think, yes, of course, because we all, like, nothing exists in a vacuum. So you bring whatever kind of things from societies, kind of ideas, prejudices, whatever it might be, from society. I think I feel it's been really good, like listening to everyone and hearing about sort of how people are going about their particular challenge, and it's like quite inspiring. And I feel for myself, I consider myself quite new, especially in an online space, to this. And luckily, I haven't seen much of the toxicity that people have been talking about, and I feel partly because I'm just new, so maybe it hasn't had a chance to reach me yet, but just I guess the audience we're trying to reach in terms of like not being I hate using the word sort of hardcore gamer, but that's the phrase that came to mind. But so it's quite a casual audience, so it's just people who are curious, and for those that are sort of more experienced in gaming, it's those that are more accepting, I'd like to think. So I think, yes, so to say again, yes, it does kind of trickle down into the gaming space, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to take over your space. And I think there's different ways to approach it. So hopefully it doesn't. And then hopefully people learn, because if you give people the space to meet others that aren't like them, then they walk away thinking, oh, you're not like what I thought you were. We just like the same game. So
it's true. It's so true.
That's very true.
Okay, thank you. That's very well answered. If anyone has any questions, communities, if you guys have any questions for each other, because I knew that it was everyone like sort of segmented. So if you guys have any questions for each other,
yes,
this is the time.
I do. Well, the first question is, when can we meet again?
Virtually anytime. I mean,
yes. just virtually. I
Okay.
I don't want to get out of my house right now because
no corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the flights are cheap, I cannot.
Stop it. I think this is the first thing. Sorry, Bran, go on.
No, you're good. I wanted to respond to the question that was just asked, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So the question was, do real world issues trickle down into our communities, right?
Yeah.
I think definitely. I think absolutely. Like I think Chris was talking about it earlier, but the fact that like we're still human. We love video games. So we have real life issues, real life things going on. I think one of the biggest ways I've seen it, well, two of the biggest ways that I've seen it trickle down into my community. One, as I talked about earlier, about intersectionality when it comes to Black and brown women, specifically Black women, because Black women often face racism from other women of color too. And so that's one of the reasons why it's really important for me to name both of them. But also I think going off of the intersectionality piece, when it comes to streaming or just being in like a game chat, I'm actually doing a study on this right now within my community, but that stuff trickles down into our gaming. So not only do we face it in the workplace and, just anywhere in life, experiencing racism and sexism that comes back right on into the Twitch chats or whatever streaming platform you have or you use. It comes in the game chats. A lot of our members don't even use game chat anymore based off of not being able to be in there safely without being called some type of name or slur. And I think the second way is when it comes to mental health too, and how that trickles down into our community. It's one of the ways that we actually bond with each other, and especially through the concept of storytelling, where we openly talk about any mental health issues that we're dealing with, and able to find a support system within the community of people who deal with similar mental health issues, and also using gaming as a form of healing when it comes to mental health and harassment and things like that. So I think those are two of the biggest ways that it's trickled down into our community. But yeah, I absolutely, it definitely trickles down, and it's all up and through the gaming community. That's why I get so irritated when you have people that say that gaming is not like political, or why are you bringing identity into gaming? I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Just take off my locks and my black skin and just say, oh well, right. I'm not that anymore.
No. Like, don't miss me with that. That's just that's when the conversation just stops, because obviously you don't have the mental intellect to even talk about anything that just. I hate when people say that. Let's just remove race out of this. I wish, I'd love to. Yeah. I would love to do that. But unfortunately, that's not how I think.
We wouldn't even bring this in if you were dealing with it.
Right.
Because you should deal with it. Not us, but
thank you.
You're not doing your part, so that's why we're bringing race down.
I think
definitely. We've had a question from the chat, the screen.
Yeah.
I have a question for the men. How are you all showing support to Black women in your communities? This is a question for the guys, clearly.
Okay.
I can go first.
Okay, you can go first, please.
It depends on the kind of scale that we're talking about. Are we talking about on a large scale, or are we talking about in the boardroom, or are we talking about personal? For me, on a one-to-one, because I have sisters, thankfully. Well, thankfully. Anyway.
Thankfully, you have sisters.
My sisters have given me like an in-depth guide into, like an in-depth insight into
how to treat Black women.
Yeah, how it feels to be like a. Trying to answer this question. Anyway, how to like when my sister first came to me and said that, I don't use the mic because it's like a 50-50 gamble in my head about whether or not we need call outs, or whether or not I feel like getting this the irritation of the guys in the chat going, oh my gosh, you're a gamer girl, blah blah blah, and it's like the fact that you have to weigh that in your mind before you even go onto a game alone annoys me, because obviously you're my sister, and obviously with that, when you feel something, I feel it. So in that kind of respect, I make sure that when I'm gaming with my sister, like, I try my best. I don't try my best. I just do it. I make sure it's normal. If I'm talking to a female gamer, it's no. It should be normalized.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. We are gamers at the end of the day. It should be normalized. When I'm on the mic with a girl gamer and she does a call out, I'm not gonna think, oh, because she's a girl, blah blah. Anything after that segment doesn't matter. Because she's a girl, everything after it does not matter. Wipe it from your from your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then also there are times when, like, me and my sister, we go to networking, and my sister brings up a valid point in the conversation. What I normally do is, I would like shut. I don't want to say it meanly, but I shut everybody up and say, "Oh, Annabelle, what were you saying?" So
we get that a lot. Where sometimes I'm speaking and then the guys just sort of talk over me.
Yeah.
And it's just it happens to a lot of women. I found out you're talking and the guys like, and then I was like, okay. And then I get quiet like this, and then my brother's like, "What were you saying?" And then so it's always good to have my brother's back up sometimes, because.
But that's also an issue, isn't it?
It's also an issue because some women who are just by themselves there, and they don't have a brother to be like, "What were you saying?" So that the spotlight gets back on me to finish what I was saying, and so I'm thankful that I have brothers, but it should be, and they know, because my sister and I wouldn't allow any kind of nonsense, but. It's not easy for, I guess, women who don't have brothers, who don't have those people. And I think that as a community, we need to be doing more as well, because they know that there's these issues that black women face that are unique to black women as well. And we need our black men to, be supporting us, be championing us, be riding for us the way we ride for them. Yeah. We're always, I have my brother's back 100%. I know he has my back, but it's just like, that's obviously our family bond. They need to be doing more, to be helping us, to be making sure that we can grow. It's not easy being a black woman in any space, any space in the world kind of thing, unless you're with other black women. And so it's just like, let's just protect black women. And I feel like we can do it together. Like with me, it's always we are stronger together as a unit. Like our sibling bond, we have the two siblings. I have my sister and my brother too, and it's just you have to know that we have to have each other's backs always 110% kind of thing,
And also on to the wider topic as well. When it comes to how I support women when it comes in these gaming communities, I also like to question my own biases, because I'm the principal researcher for MelaninGamers. I have to do that a lot when I'm writing pieces, because sometimes I have biases which I don't even know. It's called unconscious bias, okay? But I have to be very weird. I'm constantly questioning myself all the time, even when it comes to daily life. Like if my eyes are lingering on a I don't know, let me give a really stereotypical one, like a black babysitter and a white child. Like, why is my eyes lingering? Why do I have the feeling of uncertainty? All of that comes from somewhere. Yeah. So
question your biases. Exactly. Like, why are you looking at that person making you uncomfortable? We did a whole panel on this. It's because you've been trained by the media that this sort of person wearing this kind of outfit, a black guy in hoodie, like, we don't buy my brothers hoodies anymore. Both my brothers don't wear hoodies anymore, just because we also want to protect them. A black man in a hoodie, he's a threat. Why is he a threat? Why do you suddenly see him and this idea is in your mind? Question why you had that reaction. So I think everyone questioning their unconscious biases is also going to help in the long run, as to why you have this fear in you over what's a child, really. That person in a hoodie is actually a 14-year-old boy. He's someone's child. He's someone's, he's someone's son. He's someone's brother. That sort of thing. I think if we all question our biases, and everyone has them, just be mindful of those sort of things in your life. Everyone should be doing that. Yeah.
That's the MelaninGamer answer. So now let's open it up to the other communities. So
okay,
go on.
I'd like to take a crack at that. For the AfroGamer, basically, my guests, my articles, I don't see male or female. I see a gamer, I see a game developer, I see what they do.
That's the future.
And that's what I do. And the few female talents I've had to connect with or collaborate with, just so that I get to educate myself more. For the ones that have come on the podcast, I ask them, what challenges they faced. And, it's the same thing you just mentioned. But what I try to do is I try as much as possible to collaborate with them, connect them with other gamers. Many African females game, but they do not know about the gaming industry. So there's this Tekken pro player she's in Kenya, Queen Arrow. And one day she put up a tweet and was like, why are there not many women in games? And people started saying all sorts of things. And I just all I just did was to retweet, and I said, have you thought about going the other way? Instead of playing Tekken, there are a lot of females who play games on their mobile phones, the Candy Crush, and so on and so forth. It might not be esports, but that's the cushion to introduce them into the gaming industry. And immediately I got a message from her. I got a message from two other ladies who were like, how can we make that work? I'm like, that is what you guys should be championing. If you notice, they are not, going the route everyone is expecting to grow. Not everyone is going to play FIFA. Not everyone is going to play Call of Duty Mobile. Mm-hmm. But there's already a gaming culture. So I think that's what you should be speaking to, not trying to introduce them to, the top tier games. Use what's it called? Use the casual mobile games that I used to play to introduce them. So as we speak, we're putting together just I won't say seminar, but just a call where we have female gamers and then we talk about it. So that's how I support them personally. That's the AfroGamer response.
Can I?
From the Black Gamer League side, one thing that is important, I feel like this is kind of going to help everyone, is we just need to be willing to listen. A lot of times we, as men, especially as men, we try to find the answers for the women from what we see, and we don't do enough of the listening and the learning. Yeah. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we can do, because it's one thing to try to be a champion for women just off of what we personally see, but we're not a woman. We're not a Black woman at that. So we're never going to be fully able to understand what, mental challenges they go through, what physical challenges they go through, or just how we can really help them until we take that time to really understand them. And the thing about it is, it's not a bad thing, but, there's never enough listening. There's never enough learning. Our women, our Black women especially, need to feel as though that not only are they able to voice their opinions, tell us how they feel, but we need to be okay with, honestly, not always being able to fix it. But as long as we're championing, we're supporting, and we're showing them that we have their back, I think that's where the change is going to start coming. We can't always try to fix things, but we can be that real support and that real ear, So that's what we do in Black Gamer League.
Yeah. I 100% support that. You're right. It's also true of a thing where you're just like, oh, let me fix this problem for you. Actually, why don't you support me so I can help fix this problem? And just knowing that you have my back when I'm trying to do this thing, as opposed to running in with the, a knight in shining armor and save me from my problems. Why don't you help me so that I can do it myself? And so that so that you have my back, but I'm sort of standing on my own 2 feet as well. I completely understand. And
it's a precarious
I think sorry, I feel like I just cut someone off.
I feel like Talix has been trying to get some.
Talix, I saw your hand raising, it was so cute. Hello? Go on.
No, but
Yeah.
At Wakanda Streamers, we try to have this caution, because we have to watch out every time, every minute. I was naive when I created Wakanda Streamers, because I thought everybody would be together as one, and it's not like that. So when we put everybody in this space, men try to control it, which is obvious. But I was like, oh, if I am using this speech Wakanda Streamers is this and that. People will come together with this mentality. So I was naive. Then I had to regain control over this, and okay, you're not acting equally, so we have to balance things around here. Because since the beginning, I was acting for 1 year alone, and then one more year with a group to organize stuff. Yeah. And from the beginning, I said we will never organize our lists by alphabetical order, because if we do that, people will always see men first. So we have to not invert, but we have to make this
equal.
Conscious decision to make
yes, we have to put first women, LGBTQ, the disabled, because if we don't organize like that, always men getting more followers, getting more voices, and when we are debating, I have to do the same thing as Alan does. People, Victoria is trying to talk now. Can she started, and this is not, as I said before, this is not comfortable, but that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Why it's not comfortable? Because we have to do this. We were called to speak in a school to young people, and there were 3 men. It was time for Vicky to speak, and then 3 men started talking in front of her. 3 teachers, male teachers, and to confront them in front of their students was not nice, but
it needed to be done.
What are they going to learn if we don't do anything? So we have to constantly do this. The same way we agree that racism is not the problem. It's not a problem of Black community, which is not. This part is a problem that is it's not for women to resolve. It's for the men to resolve this, because it's a problem brought by men. So we have to relearn things, and it's not comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. But if we accept this now, it's so much easier for our kids to learn this, to see the world with these eyes.
Exactly.
So,
okay, we have our last question, because we're going to end the stream soon. With seeing so many communities together, how come we're all still separated with supporting each other's communities? I think that is a difficult one to answer, because we are also across the world. So obviously MG is based in London, and so obviously when we do events, we used to do events outside, it will be for
those days.
Those good old days when we used to go outside and do events. It will be for London gamers, but that's why online is so important. And I think we are moving towards a place where we can support each other. We all have our separate communities, of course, and we're all doing something similar but not exactly the same. And that's also important, we are all unique in our different ways. I think that's what we found today. We all have a message that is similar. We're all trying to champion diversity. We're all trying to champion inclusivity. But we're all trying to do it in different ways, and it's important that we have the different ways. It's like we're approaching it from different angles, as opposed to I'll approach it from here, so will I. But if we all approach it from I'll go left, you go right, you go up, you go down, we are all gonna get there together. And supporting each other, well, that's why we're here. We are here to support each other.
Yeah, well, we made the summit.
That's why we're doing the summit. That's why we're trying to support each other. I think every community here, we're all sort of supporting each other. We all believe in what everyone else is talking about. And it's difficult because we aren't of the belief that we have to be the only ones to do it. We have to be the first ones to be able to, the only ones at that table. No, we are all going to be there. There's space enough for all of us. And I think that's the thing that other people make us believe. You're the only, when I was at this job, I was the only Black person there. Oh, I'm the first Black person there. I'm the only Black person there. I hate that. I hate being the only person there. It's like, oh my God, there's not a single soul who looks like me. I want to be with like, let's Brown and I go and speak on a panel together. You know, like let MelaninGamers and Brown Girl Gamer Code, let's go in the panels together. It doesn't have to be just MG, because I don't want it to just be MG, because that's one community in the sea of thousands, as opposed to we're all gonna be there together. We're all gonna show up together, and we're gonna roll up to that party and be like, look, you're taking us all, yeah? That's what we want to see. We want to see more of us up there. So it's not like one community only. And that's the mentality they sort of force on us. We're having all the different panels at EGX, then we'll have that one diversity panel, and you lot can sit and do it. No, I don't think we will. I think there's going to be a mayamada panel. There's going to be a Streamcast panel. There's going to be all these panels there, yeah? And we're not just going to be talking. We're going to be talking about, this is a panel about anime. But we're doing it. Yeah. You know, that's what we want to be seeing. We want to be seeing us talking about different topics as well. That's what we're driving towards. So we are supporting each other. Yeah. We are doing this, and we're getting there slowly but surely. You know, we're forming these connections.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, we are getting there. We're doing it. We're trying.
I would also add to what Anzi is saying. Like, I talked about this a little bit on LinkedIn, but like, bring people with you. Bring people with you. Pick up someone along the way and bring it with you. Bring them with you. It's not enough to just go. You shouldn't go alone. You go farther when you go together. So bring people. You made it into the room. You made it somewhere. Okay, next time, who you bringing with you?
Exactly.
How are you going to elevate someone else in the space that's doing similar work and bringing them with you? You know, it's always, I think, especially when it comes to women, especially Black women, and you see this in almost every single industry, they immediately want to pit us against each other. And make us see each other as competition. I'm so tired of that. You know what I mean? Like, I get so irritated with that, because why do I have to see you as competition? You're not my competition. You are my teammate. You are my colleague.
Exactly.
You deserve to be in this space as much as I do. And why can't we do it together? Like, we're not here to, like, what kind of mindset would it be if I came in here like, oh yeah, I'm doing this all by myself. I'm gonna eliminate racism and sexism in games.
Doesn't matter.
That would be a formidable person. Single-handedly ride out by themselves.
Absolutely not. Like, all of us bring something unique to the table. Like, we all have different stories. We have, you know, a lot of people. There's a lot of overlap. People are in multiple of the same communities. I think that's great. Like, you should be in multiple communities, because there's no way that one community is going to meet everyone's one need. Like, we're not going to meet the needs of everyone. We just can't. Like, you shouldn't.
And we shouldn't have to.
Possible.
And we shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to. That's insane.
And that's just, it's way too much pressure to put on yourself to think that it just has to be you. No, bring people with you. Bring other folks with you along the way. So I wanted to add that.
I really think that just everything Brandy just said was just amazing, because that's the illusion that is fed to us, that we can only do things by ourselves, or that we have to compete with every single person that's trying to do. They might be doing the same exact thing that you're doing, but instead of us thinking, oh, we can work together, or we can bring each other up, it's pit against us that we have to compete with them. We can't do the same thing if they're doing it. And I just think that's a really strong point that we all have to remember when we're, you know, in our communities, that we have other people that want the same thing. We have allies. And if we start bringing each other up, we won't keep on hearing we're the first or the only, because we're making sure we're taking it. We're taking this together. We're taking all together. So
that's true.
Yeah,
for me,
I would like to talk a little bit about this.
Of course.
I really dislike when we have these hero stories. Everybody wants to be the hero, and this is so colonized, such a colonized thinking. So when we reproduce this in our world, you have only one Steve Jobs, only one Bill Gates, because you have only one Spider-Man, one Thor. So when you have them, nobody wants to replace Steve Jobs. And if you have one black person occupying this, then all the world comes saying, no, we all already have one.
Yeah, exactly.
There. So
That's the one.
Why do you want more? Yeah. So yes, we must walk together. We must always walk together and always protecting our minorities, because if we're not protecting our minorities, our family, we are not walking together. We're just walking together as men once again. Yeah. So
for me, I've really learned a lot from this summit. And therefore, what I have to say is that I really, really wish we can do this again another time, because this is like an eye-opener to the world. A lot of people don't know what is happening in these communities.
Yeah.
Understand? So I believe we need more summits like this, because there are more communities. There are different communities that we've never reached out to. They're still out there waiting for someone to reach out to them. So summits like this, we need to invite more people. We need to have more communities to speak up. And I believe if we come together, we can actually achieve this this goal we all have.
We can. We definitely can. And this will...
Please.
This is the first of many. This is our first one.
I'll definitely be keeping in touch.
Amazed that it's gone so well, and you guys have been inspirational. Honestly, it's just been so amazing, and I've just loved hearing about all your stories, and I'm so glad everyone else got to hear, which is very important to me. You know, everything that we spoke about today. Again, I can't say this enough. Everybody, please follow everyone here. Mods, can you please drop links to every single community? People, please be following each other. We're stronger together. We are trying to build something that will outlast us. That's what we're trying to do. We aren't just for this generation, just for us. This is forever kind of thing. You know, these are the groundworks, like what our ancestors did before us. They laid that foundation that we're here. So now we're going to lay another foundation for the next generation. You know, that's what we're doing right now. We're laying it for the next generation, you know. It's one for the history books.
Sorry. Quote me on that.
So, yeah, all the links to all the amazing communities. Thank you so much, Nigel from Streamcast.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, Nigel from mayamada. It's because I was saying Streamcast is written there. Streamcast. I keep saying it. Okay, I know. Chris from Black Gamers League. Thank you so much. You guys, please put the chats in. Talish from Wakanda Streamers. Wakanda forever. Bran from Brown Girl Gamer Code. You guys, please follow Brown Girl Gamer Code. How can I say Streamcast? Andy and Troy from Streamcast. The AfroGamer, thank you so much. Michael from the Nigerian gaming community. You guys have been phenomenal
and inspirational.
Just like, I'm really, really grateful that you guys came here on this panel and you've spoken your truths. And people, please support great stuff. Thank you so much, chat. You guys have been amazing.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of stuff.
They're the last community, the chat.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys are. Thank you for the follows and the subscriptions and all of that good stuff. Thank you for following. I see that you guys have been following this group and stuff. Please keep that energy up. Follow each other and support each other. It's more than just following. It's following up as well. You know, this is not it, just one summit and then everyone bounces. We are doing this again. We're working together. We are bridging the gap. We're just going to create something that's just going to be amazing. And I'm grateful for Twitch for letting us be on the front page for this, because we all need our voices to be raised and heard a bit more. And I was seeing so many people in the chat saying it was amazing seeing so many black faces on the front page of Twitch. And it's just a lovely thing to see, isn't it? You don't get to see that too often.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys in the chat. Everything has been phenomenal. So yeah, we're going to wrap up there. I think everyone's tired. We're going to have some food to eat. Thank you guys for joining us. Yes, indeed, we're going to be doing the links. We will be uploading this onto YouTube. Again, the links will be there for you guys to follow all these amazing communities. Everybody, thank you. Thank you so much. You have been sensational. I appreciate it.
I think you should take a picture and send to everyone.
Yes.
A picture?
Yes.
A screenshot? I can screenshot it.
Let's screenshot.
Yes,
That's a good idea.
Beautiful faces.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, we've screenshot ours. Let me do that. Okay. Everyone just probably watching us like, what we on right now?
Yeah, I know.
Why not? Yeah,
Yes.
group photo. That's good.
Bunch of poses.
Everyone was just ready. Picture.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. Alright, let's end the stream. Thank you guys, chat.
Strike that. Yes.
Everyone's going crazy. Thank you, amazing, wonderful guys. It's amazing. We have so many views right now. This has been phenomenal. Thank you, all the communities, so much. Yeah, we are going to send this love over to someone else because we always raid on MG. That's what we do. Please show your support. I'm so tired. I'm hungry as well. Okay, we're still streaming. So, yeah. Someone else is streaming. Show your support and love to them. We're pushing the love forward, and remember, everyone support each other. You don't want to be the only person in the room that's like you. You want to be surrounded by people who are diverse, who look like you as well.
Don't want to be the only person in the room.
I don't want to be the only person in the room that looks like me. I don't want to be the first black person to do this. And when I sometimes read that, I get the first. What year is this, please?
I'm right. I've got all the what you call it, my entire race on my shoulders.
Like,
yo, I just woke up.
all right, thank you so much. Let's start this raid and let's stop this stream. And thank you everyone again. We're just really thankful and grateful. Thank you for all the followers. You guys have been amazing. It's been sensational. Okay, bye.